It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Back in 2015, a beer arrived here through a beer subscription box called Light Bulb. And I remember picking out this 330 milliliter can, probably hand can back then, by Verdant Brewing Company. And I remember looking at it thinking that looks really good, the artwork looks good, let's get it out, let's give it a review, and it blew me away. It really did. Since then, Verdant Brewing Company, and you said the B word then, the B-R-E-W word. Verdant Brewing Company have been treating us with beers like One More PSI, Even Sharks Need Water, Putty, which is a yearly thing now that it goes on their website and it sells out within 5 minutes. It's a double IPA at, I believe, about 8% ABV. Basically, Verdant Brewing Company from 2015 being a small company are now one of the best breweries in the world. Recently, I went to Cornwall, I visited them, and I picked up this. I had to pick up this. This is called the Don. It's a triple IPA at 10% ABV. In a 440 milliliter can, brewed with Citra Galaxy on the hot side. On the cold side is Citra and Galaxy. I'll do my best to explain that later on, but let's get this out into a glass and see what we get. So I think it's a little bit of a theme actually on the Even Sharks. It's kind of got a shark. Maybe it's a killer whale. Maybe that's what that is on the front of there. Let me know in the comments box. So beer in the glass. Lovely, lovely carbonation on this beer. We got a one to two finger, slightly off white head, say an ivory coloured head. Great levels of carbonation here. Great carbonation. Great look to the beer. Beer looks like it's got loads of oats in it. Ooh, look at this, some sediment too. Wow. Look at the sediment in the bottom of that glass. Turn it that way. Look at that. So we got the look of the beer. Let's get the aroma. I've chosen a Sunday night to review this. I don't normally review on Sundays, but I did fancy this. The sun's just come out. It's been raining most of the day. The sun's out. I thought, let's get into that Don. Let's get the camera out, get into the Don. It smells like perfection to me. Juicy grapefruit, a little bit of pineapple, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. Incredible aroma to the beer. Let's get in. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what a beer. Perfect. Do you know what I really like about this 10% ABV beer? I could talk to you about the hops and the malt and the oats and the great mouthfeel, but I'm going to start off with that lovely, it's 10% ABV. It's my first beer of the day. I could just feel that heat from the alcohol sliding down my throat into the pit of my stomach. That alcohol, it's not heat as in flavour. I'm not talking about, because you can talk about heat with hops. Sometimes hops can be a bit hot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about purely that 10% ABV. You can feel it sliding down the throat into the pit of the stomach. Beautiful, beautiful. I like it. I do. I'm not one of these people who shy away from everything. I love that warming feeling, that warming sensation of a high alcohol beer. Little bit of carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour, and it's so hoppy. It's so hoppy. It feels like 100 IBU. Now, I've not read anything on the side of the can. I don't know if it's a whale, a killer whale, a shark. I've not read anything about this beer other than it's a 10% ABV triple IPA. I don't know the IBUs. I'm going to say it feels like 100. It feels like 100 IBUs. It's just got that really kind of powerful, in your face, hoppy. Not massively bitter, but just tons of flavour. They've used a lot of hops in this beer. Bit of passion fruit, bit of mango, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, grapefruit, perfect. The mouthfeel is creamy and rich. Talked about the alcohol on the back end, that lovely 10% ABV, that smack in the face alcohol, nice, like it. Beautiful beer, beautiful beer. I feel like this would be a finisher. So I was at Verdant. I went to their Schooners bar in St Agnes. I had pizza, I had a few beers, got a taxi back to my Airbnb. Fantastic. I went to their brewery. I wish I could have got to the brewery and spent a day there. I wish I could have sat in their tap room with my camera, maybe my GoPro, with a bit of filming, and you know, just trying their different beers. Unfortunately, I had the car. I couldn't drink and drive, unfortunately. So, but it was a fascinating place. If you're in the local area, if you're around Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, take a trip down. Take a trip down to Verdant Brewing Company. Lots of outside seating area. You can see the brewery. You can see them making the beer, brewing the beer in the brewery. They've got a great tap room. There's food there as well, I think. Pizza. It's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. It's something that I would totally recommend you go and do if you're in the area. But yeah, I think this would be the beer that you've had a Verdant Pale Ale, you may have had a light bulb, you've had a couple of their IPAs, and you're thinking, oh, you know, instead of going top shelf, instead of thinking, oh, I'll have a whiskey, I'll have a rum or something like that. This is the reason why these beers exist. This is the equivalent of your top shelf. This is, instead of going, I'll have a Captain Morgan's or something just to finish the night off, I'll have a triple IPA, please, at 10% ABV. That'll do the job. That will be just the ticket. It's a fabulous beer. What do they say? To celebrate Shark Week 2025, we've partnered with Shark Bites to support UK-based shark conservation projects. Scan the QR code to find out more. And that's it, really. They've not tell me if it's a killer whale or... So I said about hot side and cold side. Both of the hops are Citra and Galaxy going in the hot side and the cold side. Very quick, very simple explanation. When they're boiling the beer, they have the opportunity to add some hops to the beer. If you add the hops to the beer, then you're drawing bitterness from the hops. You get the bitter hops. A bit like when you brew a cup of tea, you can either put the milk in first or you can have it with milk out. I prefer milk first when I'm making a cup of tea. It's not so bitter, it's not so harsh. It's a lower kind of like, and that's where we get to the cold side. So if you start putting hops in to the fermenter with the beer, you're drawing out different flavours from the hops. You're drawing out more your passion fruit, your mangoes, your grapefruits. So that's a very simple way of me to explain hot side, cold side. Hope you kind of have got that. I'm going to rate this Verdant Brewing Company, The Dawn. It looks good. It smells good. It tastes fantastic. Stone the Crows, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.